Hi, I'm Dr. Maselli, and today we're talking about neuropathy and really why people feel different sensations at the same time, like my feet are burning, but they're also cold, or they're so sensitive I can't even touch them barely, but yet they're numb. That doesn't make a lot of sense to people, but I'm going to explain today why that happens. It's very simple, and if you understand the physiology. So with neuropathy, what it is the nerves. Typically we see neuropathy in the feet. It can happen anywhere, but typically most people in the feet. And what happens is the nerves begin to die. And as they begin to die, think of them as wires, like in your house, and they short circuit. And it's the short circuiting that causes all these problems. Now, what most people don't understand is that there are different nerves. So you have this kind, and then you have a big fat kind, right? And then you've got skinny ones, and they have all different kinds. And what they do is they carry different signals up to the brain. Okay? So the signals carried to the brain are different, right? This is a nerve. This is one. And this is the last one, the little one, skinny one. Okay? So you'll have like pain is carried by these larger unmyelinated called C fibers. So without getting super technical, different things are carried by different, maybe this one is pressure, right? Maybe this one is like touch. This is how you feel touch. Okay? Maybe this one, maybe there's another one over here. Think of another one over here, and this one does cold, and a different one does hot. So there's all these different ones, they're different nerves, right? Going up, right? That there's different things, okay? So this exactly explains why somebody could feel hot or burning sensation the same time they feel cold, or why people don't feel the touch, so they're numb, okay? But the pain one is short-circuiting, so they feel pain. So this is firing to the brain and saying, or not firing right, and the person is numb, can't feel touch. And then this one is short-circuiting, so they feel pain. So they feel numb and pain at the same time, which doesn't make sense to most people, but that exactly explains why that occurs. So the problem is, and the next thing you need to know is like, well, why does neuropathy happen? Like, what happens to the nerve? So the nerve looks like this, right? And the nerve impulses, we'll say they flow that direction from the foot, hand, skin, wherever, to the brain so you can feel it. Okay? So what happens is there's all these like blood vessels that are wrapped around the nerve. Think of them as wrapped around it, right? So they wrap around it, these blood vessels, and they spider out into little tinier ones and stuff like that, right? Really tiny little blood vessels. You get the idea. So the nerve has a blood supply. These little blood vessels are easily damaged by a lot of different things. Chemotherapy, it's a big cause of neuropathy. Diabetes damages your cardiovascular system. High blood sugars can damage that. The immune system can attack these in an autoimmune situation. And alcoholism. There's actually a lot of different things that can damage these nerves and create neuropathy. Neuropathy doesn't happen from one cause. There are lots of different things that can cause neuropathy. But the key to understanding it and to making it better is actually in a couple of different things. You need to, number one, stimulate the nerves, like energize them and stimulate them. So get them firing, right? Firing in that direction. Fire, fire, fire. Fire them off, okay? And at the same time, you have to increase the blood flow because that was really the original real problem. So when you increase the blood flow and you stimulate that, you stimulate the nerves, all this starts to heal and you start to go backwards, start to turn back the clock on neuropathy. It's not hard to do. It's amazing to me that a lot of doctors have no clue how to do this for their patients. They simply give them a gabapentin, Neurontin, or some kind of anti-seizure, Lyrica. These are anti-seizure medications. And what they do is they slow down the brain, right? Because remember, let's go back to here actually, it's a better one, right? So what happens is your medications, what they do is they block this by slowing down the brain. They actually make the brain work less. The brain waves slow down, okay? Those drugs were originally designed for seizures, to control people's seizures or help them, because if you decrease brain activity, you will decrease the amount of seizures that somebody has. But what they found was, oh, hey, look at this. If we give it to somebody who doesn't have seizures but has pain, it'll slow down the brain so that these signals, these uncomfortable signals, won't actually register in the brain because the brain's slowed down. And that's how they work. And that's why a lot of people will say, well, since I started taking my gabapentin or my Lyrica or whatever, I can't remember things like I used to, and I can't think, and I forget a lot of stuff, and and I'm tired a lot. Yeah, you're tired. Slow down the brain waves, you get tired. So that has nothing to do with the function of the nerves. It does nothing to fix the condition. Those medications don't do anything with respect to what's really going on. All they simply are is something to take the edge off the pain or decrease the pain. They're no solution. And a matter of fact, they can, since they make somebody more comfortable, this condition can progress and continuously get worse, and the person doesn't even realize it. So it kind of creeps up on them. Because you have to understand that when you have pain or discomfort or a problem, that's an engine warning light, like in your car, okay? When you take a medication, you're simply taking a Band-Aid, or not a Band-Aid, but like a piece of tape, and you put it over the light, and you go, oh, look, lights, can't see the light anymore. Good to go now. Is it? Because what's eventually going to happen to your engine? If you keep ignoring the warning lights, it's probably going to break down. So it's the body's intelligent way of warning us that there's a problem, so we do something about it. So the warnings that the body gives us should not be taken lightly, although a lot of people do. But that's about it. What you have to do here with the neuropathy, like we said, is increase the signals, increase the blood flow. There's a bunch of different ways to do that. Our clinic uses very unique treatments. I know we're the only ones that do exactly what we do because I actually designed some of the equipment that we use. So, this is not difficult to fix, to reverse. You just have to know what to do and how to do it, and then just do it. So I hope that helps. I hope that sheds some light on these conditions, on neuropathy specifically, and thanks for joining us.